So if you're thinking of driving to Florida and you don't know which way you want to go, today's video will show us taking the I90 to the I79 via Charleston, where we made a stop, and then to Florida. We've done a detailed comparison of driving versus flying with the I-75 route. So if you're interested in that one, check out our previous video. When we drove that time, we heard this route wasn't a good idea in the winter, so we waited to try it on this trip, which happened to be in October. So we thought this would be the perfect time with the fall colors, and we couldn't have picked a better time for this route. So if you're interested in seeing what it's like, come join us and we'll share our experience with traffic, what the roads are like, our stops, our return trip with the cost, the scenery, and anything else we found interesting.
Navy ship there? Must be there all the time.
I think it's neat with all the ships and everything. I think it's neat because that's where the Buffalo Sabres NHL team plays.
Oh, really? The difference in interests.
That's pretty.
Oh, it is very pretty. It's actually a really beautiful time of year to go. And right now it's saying for our first stop that we are looking at arriving at 8:43 p.m. and that is in Princeton, West Virginia. So we're making our first stop here and just for a bathroom. And you have a little walkway to get over to the restroom and McDonald's.
We just got into Pennsylvania. It kind of came up quick on us. It's a very scenic, peaceful drive.
This has really been a very stress-free drive so far.
Has been, yes. This is one of the rivers, the Ohio River.
Okay. Well, we're close to Pittsburgh and we've hit our first major slowdown. And right now Google Maps is only saying it's about 4 minutes extra. So hopefully it really doesn't take too much time. The landscape has been a lot prettier lately. With all these rock formations. And we are going to have to get gas very soon. So while we were getting gas, one of the things to keep in mind is if you're using a credit card and it asks for your zip code, I know I had this happen in the past and I couldn't get it to work. So what you do if you're Canadian and you only have a postal code, you use just the numbers that are in your postal code plus 00 at the end. Here we come to West Virginia, wild and wonderful. So it's 6:36 now. Traffic has been nothing basically the entire time.
Been 2 slowdowns for a total of like 20 minutes.
And yeah, this is basically what the drive is like. It's starting to get a little darker now. The sun was like shining directly in our eyes for a little while, but it's a really relaxing drive. If you're not into the scenery, it I guess could be really boring. So I'm not sure if children would enjoy this ride as much as the other way. And anything else to add about it, Andrew?
Very hilly.
Very hilly, yes. We'll see what the fuel consumption ends up being, if it's much different than the last trip, going up and down all these hills. So we are now 7 minutes away from our hotel. We're stopping in Princeton, West Virginia.
Princeton was a good stopping point for us, and we stayed in a smaller motel, and we'll do a short video on that later just to give you an idea what it's like. If we had left home earlier, we would have avoided driving in the dark, and I would suggest that as we miss seeing a lot of the beauty. So we've just left the Turnpike Motel. It's about
8:30 now, and there's lots of choices for food in this area. We're just in line at McDonald's just to grab something and head to Charleston. So I'll just show you a little bit in this area, and away we go.
Driving on Interstate 77, you'll be going through two mountains on the Big Walker Mountain Tunnel near Wytheville, Virginia, and the East River Mountain Tunnel at Bluefield, West Virginia. They are both twin lanes, with the East River Mountain Tunnel being 5,400 feet long and the Big Walker Mountain Tunnel 4,200 feet in length.
Oh, look at the fog.
And
Wow.
we're welcome to Virginia.
Oh, we're Virginia.
Left West Virginia.
As we're driving through Virginia now, the landscape is changing slightly, and we just passed a dead black bear on the side of the road, which was kind of sad to see. But I guess you just always have to watch out. So we're coming out of the mountains a little bit more. There's more and more farmers' fields, and the mountains are getting smaller. Oh, the pumpkins all over the place.
Keeps going over this hill here.
Pumpkins after pumpkins. I've seen big pumpkin patches, but not that big before. Getting gas today, and it is 3:49. So we're on the 485. Google routed us this way because it's saving half an hour, and traffic is increasing more as we're getting closer to Charlotte. Temperature is now 17 degrees, so a far cry from the frost on the windows this morning. And we'll see what traffic is like as we get closer to Charlotte. South Carolina.
That was the sign, welcome to South Carolina.
I think so. That was it.
It's the Ashley River.
Yeah, look at how marshy it is over there.
We've found we've enjoyed our road trip more when we stop at some cities along the way. This trip we decided on Charleston for a few days, and then back on the road to Florida.
So we're leaving Charleston and heading to Disney now. We're heading to Old Key West.
Thank you for visiting South Carolina. And I can imagine over the bridge, it'll say, welcome to Georgia. Here's your free peach.
So we're coming up to Jacksonville now. Traffic's a little bit heavier here.
So we needed gas again, and we stopped at Buc-ee's as we heard that they have the lowest gas prices and the cleanest washrooms. So we did a video on that. If you want to check out what Buc-ee's is, it's definitely worth a stop.
So this Florida Center is a lot smaller than the other one, but it is a lot less busy too. So there's a sign you can go get your picture done.
We like stopping at the Florida Tourist Center because they have a lot of pamphlets in there for all the different areas of Florida. They have free sample of orange juice. Here they have the Sun Pass if you're interested in that. We use the Unipass and we can give you more information on all how that works.
So we're coming closer to these, I guess, the Sanford Airport.
Yeah.
And we're now 47 minutes away from Old Key West Resort.
So on this trip, we brought our Unipass again. A Unipass is good for tolls in multiple states. As we showed, you can just buy the Sun Pass, which will work in Florida as well. We like the Unipass because it saves worrying about taking express lanes in other states. This time we noticed the express lanes were busier than normal, but this was due to the governor of Florida suspending the charges for taking these roads. This was only because of Hurricane Ian, and they're back up again. We also will add the cost of taking the tolls on this trip as well, but you won't see all the Florida tolls like you normally would. If you're interested in seeing that, we did do another video on driving to Florida on the I-75. Also, if you're interested in the Unipass, you can buy it directly from them, or you can get it on Amazon. That's how we got ours. We'll put a link below for the one on Amazon. If you're staying in Orlando, driving can get quite crazy. There is so much traffic and many more accidents, and this isn't just on the highways. There's plenty of fender benders on the quieter roads as well. Having said that, we still do enjoy having a vehicle to get around much more than relying on other modes of transportation within the city.
And we're hitting the traffic. It's all red on the Google Maps at this point. Stop and go. Walt Disney World, the most magical place on earth.
After arriving at Disney's Old Key West Resort, we enjoyed the rest of our stay, which we'll show in some other videos, and then it was time to head back on the road again, back home.
Well, that's it. We are hitting the road, Jack. Oh, just a bouncy bridge.
Oh, yeah.
I can't.
Tigger!
It is like a ride.
Tigger!
Holy crap. I just have to put Winnie the Pooh songs to this.
On the way back, we stopped in Oak Hill, West Virginia for the night, and as we were driving, we realized we really wouldn't want to take this route in the winter. There's so many curves, and in the dark, it's there's no lights around at all, so we felt it would be unsafe in that case. So our stop at the motel on the way back wasn't so good. I don't mind saving money on worn hotels, but I can't stand when they are dirty. This was a sleep in your clothes on top of the sheets type place. Thankfully, I take my own pillows. From the lobby and clientele, it seemed fine, but the sheets were stained and had hair on them. We checked for bugs in the typical places, but didn't see any, so we stayed because there wasn't anywhere close by this hotel to go to, and we were tired.
It's really interesting how early in the morning that you just see like a wave of fog across the road, like you're just gonna, like it's almost a wall. So now it's getting prettier with the sun hitting the trees again. So it's 8 o'clock now in October.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, And for the first time in a long time, I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago.
So as we get closer to arriving home, here are our costs. Our total tolls for the trip are here, just $27.38, but we weren't charged on arrival near Orlando. Years ago, you could pay tolls by cash, but this doesn't work anymore. If you don't have a pass, you will get billed by license plate pictures, but the rates are higher for this in Florida. Also be careful you don't use a SunPass lane without a Unipass or a SunPass, as you will get a $25 daily violation charge per use. With the Unipass, Andrew just prepays it and it takes it out of his account. Our hotel costs for the 2 days of traveling were $212.77 US. This time we had read reviews and they were good, but you just never know. So my suggestion is to read the bad reviews and see what they complain about. So if it's like cleaning, then really be careful. We've listed our fuel costs for the entire trip. This ended up being $317.05 US. This time we did spend less money on gas, but the fuel prices were a lot lower this time. Our I-75 trip that we took, the prices were in March and the fuel prices were a lot higher at that point. Would we choose this route again? Yes, we would, but not in the late fall or winter just because of the ice and snow. It was a beautiful and relaxing trip this way, and it's great in the nice weather. Some of the things we would make sure is to leave earlier in the morning when the nights get darker, so it's easier on the driver due to the curvy roads. This route versus I-75, well, as a passenger, I really did miss the I-75 book, telling the history of the areas you're passing with suggestions of places to stop. Also, on this route, you don't see any of the cities you're passing, so it was a lot of scenery, which again was great in the fall, but might not be that interesting other times of the year. I think you really would need extra Wi-Fi because I did use my phone a lot. So this time I had planned ahead and bought a SIM card for the US. My Canadian plan was too expensive to buy US coverage, so buying the SIM card saved me money. You can buy these on Amazon as well, and I'll put a link to the one I bought if anyone's interested. It worked great for me the entire time we were there. Another thing we noticed when traveling through Pennsylvania on the way home was the amount of dead deer on the road. It was unbelievable, and I would really suggest not driving through there at night. We lost count of how many we saw. It really was that many. And we also found another thing we would have done differently is we found we were in a hurry to get there, so we really only went through drive-thrus. Next time we would take the extra time to just stop for a proper meal at night, as we got sick of fast food in a hurry. We really did enjoy trying the US chains, but they're still fast food. Our total cost for fuel, tolls, and hotels is $557 US or approximately 750 Canadian. So it's still a lot cheaper than flying, and on this trip we decided we definitely wanted to drive just due to the flight changes that kept happening due to Hurricane Ian. So if you have any other questions or tips to help others, please let us know in the comments, and thanks for watching.